in LA back in 1988. Almost a story of my life, looking for a job. Back then, you would look in the paper for the help wanted. The help wanted section of the paper, the LA Times, the LA Weekly, Recycler, some other publications. So I think it was in the LA Weekly that I found something that said I could be a canvasser. See, I thought that it said something too about save the whales or the question nowhere to surf or this and that, and it said it was Greenpeace. I thought they meant making canvases for paintings, and you go along the beach and skin the whales that wash up. Canvasser. Well, I called them up. They told me to come on down, and I went I went all the way from Hollywood to 7th and Broadway. I think that was. I know it was Broadway. They had an office next to a sweatshop, or they shared a building with a sweatshop. Very interesting place. Downtown LA back in 1988. Okay, so they gave me a clipboard and a newsletter thing and some other little flyers or whatnot. And I had a trainer, and we'd get into a van or a car or something like that. I think they had a bunch of old vans. And we went to, I think it was somewhere in West LA. And the guy was telling me how to just learn what he says to the doors. Go knock on the doors. Had some kind of spiel. And the trainee has to focus on the trainer so that the person will focus on the trainer. Pretty cool, huh? But yeah, they were just, what they were doing was asking for donations and getting the people involved and educating them. It was multi-purpose. What it was organized begging, but yes, it was also outreach. It was getting the people involved and spread awareness. And they had eventually went on to have more and more campaigns about Save the Whales, what they're famous for, and the Rainbow Warrior and their other ships, and they would have to finance this to go out with the Zodiac rafts and block the Japanese and the Icelandic people from shooting the whales with their harpoons, get between them and the whales. And eventually just save the whole planet. There was the dolphins, save the dolphins from the gill nets, all kinds of, they had one, get rid of the pesticides, stop the incinerators, all kinds of things. But what it was organized begging. And you get a cut of your however much money you bring. You ask them to write a check, take cash, they can write a check. And you put the checks all stacked up where they can see them, like, hey, your neighbors are all donating, kind of game like that. Yeah, so I'll tell you what's the drawback of it all is. Okay, so you get a cut. I think what you get is 37% of the money you raise, and if you go over 100, then you get more, 25% after the 100, and it goes up every year. Like I was there, well, it's sort of like there at 2 or 3 years, so I was up around 40%. And another thing, I even became a field manager. And another thing that another thing is, don't be telling, when they come pick you up, you drop them off and you go pick them up. They give you a map. You got to draw the maps. Yeah, so I found out what canvassing was nothing but organized begging. And that's also a term the police, when they go out asking questions about crimes, they call it canvassing. When they go knock on the doors and ask the people who might have seen some questions. That's misleading to say canvassing. So anyway, the rule is when you go pick up, you're told not to say like how much money you made, because let's say you made 300 and somebody else did bad. Sometimes it didn't make anything, $0 or $20 or only 50. Then it messes with the head, messes the morale. See what I mean? So I agree, but see, that's what I'm getting at here is when you do good, this can cause people to become bipolar. Another word is manic depressive, bipolar, because you're really happy as can be when you do well, and when you do bad, you're depressed. Badly depressed. Sometimes angry. Throw the clipboard on that. They tell you to do that. But I don't recommend you ever do a job like this. It's just too causes you to have those emotions. It'd be one thing if it was just a steady $100 every time, but no. And another problem is you can say that you got bad turf, like you're never gonna. It could be the field manager messing you up. You don't know if it's intentional. You wonder why so and so always gets to go to the beach areas or some other places that are known to produce a lot of money, and you're always having to go to conservative neighborhoods that don't produce much of anything. So it's just not the way to. Eventually, that thing got shut down. They moved the office to West LA, and then I don't know. I lost touch with all the people. And had a lot of nice parties. Had celebrities involved. It was LA, so it had a lot of. All right, well, that's all I got to say about that. I don't recommend doing any job like that. I hope you listen.